All right, we're gonna give people a minute to file in because I didn't know I was doing this. I basically just decided to do this. And why does my lipstick look janky today? I feel like my lipstick usually looks nicer than this when I wear it. Whatever. What can you do? What can you do? I'm gonna give people a minute to file in here. I'm especially looking for people who watched the chat that I just had with Adam Green because I want to know people's perspectives on that. And oh, John. My gay boys will always tell me I look nice. I appreciate you, John. I appreciate you. So I did have the Rumble chat up on my screen as we were talking. I wasn't really paying attention to it. I kind of saw things here and there. I'm sure the Odyssey chat was much worse than the Rumble chat. And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that. Now, is the Odyssey chat replay just like already up? Let me just go to Adam's channel and see. Like, is that, like, automatically up? No, there was something wrong with the Odyssey thing, wasn't there? I don't know. I don't know. I wanna hear what people have to say about the chat we just had. I wanna hear what people had to say about how it was received, and I'm just like, I like Adam. I like Adam a lot. I do not like some members of Adam's audience. Not all, some. And it's just like every time I do something like this, like he was a wonderful interviewer. I have literally nothing bad to say about Adam Green. I really don't. This is not about him at all. I thought he did a great job. He wasn't feeling well. He's been sick for a long time. He did it anyway. That was an hour and a half interview. He asked some great questions. I thought that I was pleased with the points that I was able to speak to. So I have nothing at all bad to say about him. Like really and truly. And I like Adam. I like his content. I like what he's doing. I like how he's doing it. I don't think it's perfect, but like nothing is, right? And so like whatever, but I just feel like every single time I'm doing one of these things, I'm putting myself in front of a goddamn firing squad. Yeah, the no white guilt assholes were definitely there. That's who I was seeing in the chat was the no white guilt assholes. And I know when I know the people on that side of the internet are there's a certain type of person that's attracted to that type of ideology, right? And many of them are very toxic. Not all of them. Again, I don't think Adam is toxic. I don't think big tech is toxic. Like there are two at least that are not toxic. But god damn. God damn. And I feel like I'm about as open to their ideas as anyone can be. Where I'm literally telling them, like, prove it to me, just show me something. And they're like, no, we want you to pinky swear. Trust us, bro. I'm like, I'm not fucking pinky swearing. Show me the evidence. Marx was Jewish. Well, Marx has also released papers saying he hates the Jews. We've watched socialists talk about Marx is on the Jewish question, and they don't like the Jews. We literally like so the socialists are the pro Hamas people. You're gonna tell me they're supporting Israel? No. Wrong. But I refuse to say what they wanted me to say, and goddamn that fat bitch is gonna get punished for that, right? It's just like no one can provide me with evidence, no one can provide me with receipts, and yet they still demand that I say what they want me to say, and if I don't, they're gonna punish that fat, ugly bitch. It's like, you know what? Like, what am I even doing? This is why I don't go on other people's shows. This is just, like, why I don't do it, because I truly feel like I set myself up to get my ass kicked. I set myself up to be like, and that's not Adam's fault. It's not his fault. I'm not blaming him. This is not his fault. I'm not trying to say anything bad about him at all, and I mean that, but, like, what did you guys think about it? Let me look in the chat. That was an interesting discussion. No primary sources offered. Yeah. The audience was a shit show. The Rumble chat was very, wasn't it? The Rumble chat was very, it was very, that was retardia. Yeah. He was very polite and he was very nice. Adam Green is fine. It's just he just attracts reactionary assholes. I mean, didn't he even say this in the video? He was like, I was treated a lot better on Carlin's channel than you guys are doing. It's like, and he's like, he's saying to his audience, like, I want to be able to bring people on here. And, like, I don't know what these idiots expect. It's like the same thing with the Groypers. It's like, do people really think that people want to go and get their asses kicked by a bunch of fucking incels? The chat was a nightmare from what I saw. Yup. There are some people like Carlin wasted my time. Well, no one was forcing them to watch. No one has to watch anything. Go watch something else. They can go watch whatever bullshit content they want to watch with their time. Be thankful you stood your ground because you have to live with you. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. It's kind of like, yeah. You know, and in situations like that, I really just like, I've tried to just like talk past whatever reactionary audience is in the chat. And to try to, if there's people who are listening, I mean, it's kind of like when I went on Beardson's show back when that all the Nick Fuentes stuff was happening. I knew Beardson was not open to having a conversation, and I knew most of Beardson's audience weren't open to having a conversation. So I just talked past them. And what happened? Big Tech fucking emailed me or DM'd me on Twitter and said, "Hey, will you come on my channel and talk about your ideas?" Because he actually listened. So I got one. Maybe. And now I like he tried to tell his audience whiteness meant capitalism, and he had to deal with the blowback from them and say, no, well, she's wrong about some things, and that's fine. But like I got one. And so like I approach these things like maybe I can just talk past the assholes and maybe there'll be people who are listening, but goddamn, man. Goddamn. Like, I'm very sorry. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm very, very sorry. I'm not here to say the things you want me to say. I'm very sorry, but that's not what I agreed to. The Rumble chat was disgusting. He was very nice to me. He was very nice. Adam Green was fine. I agree. I saw him send a chat to Rumble, telling the chat to calm down towards the beginning. Yeah. 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 Fuck me, I hated his chat. Yeah, I did too. Yeah. They resort to ad hoc attacks because you don't affirm their bias, basically. Yeah. And they can always default to calling me fat and ugly. It's what they do every time. I feel like his audience didn't have a single brain cell collectively. Well, I'm sure there are smart people in his audience because I can't imagine that Adam does the content that he does without having smart people in his audience. Because, like, his content does get in the weeds on some things. It's like, it's very wonky. It's like part of the reason that I kind of responded to his content, I think, and I said this on his show, is like, I see him doing similar things as I do, and I don't see many people doing that. So there have to be people in his audience that are not raging assholes. That has to be true. But this is also why, like, I really don't care if my audience never grows on the internet anymore because I don't want to deal with this every day. You know, it's like I already don't like being on the internet as it is, and yeah, his chat brought up no white guilt a lot. Most of the people who are truly listening are silent in the chat. I think that that's true. I think that the people who are the loudest are often the people with the lowest IQ. Not in my chat, of course, but like in every other chat. In every other chat. I saw multiple instances of people in his chat asking things that Carlin answered 10 minutes before. Yeah, I saw that too. Because they weren't listening, is the thing. It's like the best part of his chat was my audience. I mean, part of the reason I didn't just stream the thing on my channel is I wanted to, because I'm sure I could have, like, I'm sure I could have just streamed it on my channel at the same time and you guys just could have watched it over here. But like part of the reason I didn't want to stream it on my channel was because I wanted to like have my audience be on his, like, subscribe to his stuff because I do think his stuff is good. And it's like, it made me appreciate you guys a whole heck of a lot more, I'll tell you that. I think next time you agree to do this with the no white guilt people, you should tell the host you are bringing clips. Well, no, because Adam's not a no white guilt person is the thing. Like, no white guilt is one specific asshole with one specific asshole audience. Like, I don't think Adam has anything to, well, he doesn't. I don't think it has anything to do with that. At least I haven't seen it. Maybe I'm wrong, but like, we're talking about one specific creator with one especially toxic audience. So I don't feel the need to like, I thought Adam did a great job. Like, it's difficult. This is part of the reason I don't go on other people's shows because it's really difficult to explain what we do in a succinct way, and it's difficult to work clips in when other people don't understand what you're talking about. And it's like Adam is very smart about very many things and he has some great questions, but the framework that I've developed with you guys over the course of years is difficult to explain to even the smartest person, even when you have clips, because you guys know this. It takes time to marinate the ideas and it takes time to come around to it. Like, we very literally are learning to speak a different language. And it's like, you don't, you can't learn to speak a different language in a couple hours, you know? You are neither, Carlin. You're not a twig, but definitely not fat. You're beautiful. Well, some of the prettiest people are truly ugly inside. Well, that's true enough. I appreciate the compliment, Sassy. Well, this is the thing is I haven't really, like, anytime I've watched his content, even if it's the live content, I haven't been paying attention to the chat. So I really didn't, and maybe they're just nicer when bitches like me aren't there, but like I didn't know it was gonna be that bad. I really made this again, stupid me, so fucking naive. Like, I didn't know it was gonna be that bad. His chat is not representative. God damn it. His chat is not representative probably of most of his viewers. It was a wild west with no moderation in any Yahoo. Yeah, I mean, I think that's very true. I think that's very true. But this is why I moderate the shit out of my chat. I felt like Adam wanted you to blame the Jews or at least his audience. I mean, I'm serious when I say, like, I feel like I've been begging for evidence. And what I keep getting told is, like, I will look at any primary source evidence that people want to show me. I think I'm very clear about that. I will look at any primary source evidence, not trust me, bro, not a propaganda flyer. I will look at any primary source evidence that people send me. And like the answer that I get is, well, Carlin, there's no primary source evidence that exists. Well, what do you want me to do with that? Like, honest to God, what do you want me to do with that? Because I feel like I have spoken up about what I believe more than most people. But I am not going, and I'm not yelling at people in my chat, but I'm just like, I'm working out some feelings right now, okay? Like, what I am not going to do is say I believe something that I have seen no primary source evidence for. And people can have all the feelings they want about that. But if you guys aren't going to show the receipts, then shut the fuck up. Not you guys in my chat, but you know who I'm talking to. It's like, I'm so sick of hearing, we can't show you receipts. We can't show you receipts. Well, why not? What made you believe what you believe? Show me something. And like, if Adam wants to send me that entire folder of information that he has, fine. I will read everything in it. I will watch any goddamn video. But Jesus fucking Christ, I am so sick of people saying, Carlin just is afraid to do this. I'm not afraid to do shit. If I don't believe something because I haven't seen primary source evidence for it, then I'm not going to say it just to make you feel good or to have someone saying the talking points that you're desperate to hear. And Brother Nathaniel can call this JewTube all he wants. I don't really care. I'm on other platforms too. I'm perfectly willing to talk about things, but not if I don't effing believe them, motherfuckers. Well, I don't mind this though. I don't mind that. I think that this is an interesting idea. I think he has a basis for it. I think that he's showing the receipts for it. I think that, you know, I don't mind that at all. You gave it a shot, F his audience. I mean, but this is why. This is why I have such trouble getting like my content in front of other people because I don't know where I can go. I don't know where I can go. Like, where can I go? Yeah, there were more than a few of those. More than a few of those. It's like, well, I'm very sorry. I didn't know that my job here was to get you off. It's okay, Carlin. You did what you thought was best. It's not your fault the chat was rough. I knew when I saw a few N-words in the Odyssey chat before the stream. Yeah. Well, Odyssey is much more of the Wild West than Rumble is even, so I knew that was going to be on Odyssey. I'm not surprised by that. You were gracious to them at the end. The haters probably heard you were going to be on and they came out of the woodwork to hassle you because they know you can't block them, as I have on here. Oh, yeah, they were complaining up and down. She blocked No White's Guilt Ani and she blocked his audience. You're goddamn fucking right I did. and I would do it again. And I have no regrets about blocking every single no white guilt asshole that has ever found their way into my chat. I don't think they understand what primary source evidence is. I have done genealogy for 25 years. Primary source evidence exists. No, and this is part of the problem. And this is not just true of the audience that I just got like beat up by for an hour and a half. Like this isn't just true of them. This is true of like everyone. This is a constant like I have seen just like I've asked people like on Twitter for primary source evidence when they try to get me to believe something. They don't know what it means. People literally don't know what primary source evidence means. Like anywhere. I don't even think people in college know what it means anymore, and the only thing they're supposed to be using is primary source evidence and scholarly materials. It's like you're not supposed to use articles out of newspapers. You're only supposed to look at like documentation, video of events, but no one knows what this means. When did people stop understanding what primary source evidence means? No, I'm not going to read the Torah and the Talmud. I don't have the goddamn time. And that's not even what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. The Torah and the Talmud is not going to articulate to me the information that you guys want me to have, which is how is it showing up in the real world today? That is what I want. How is it showing up in the real world today? We can't provide that. It doesn't exist. Well, fine, but I'm not going to agree to something that I can't see. The Jewish conspiracy is the exact thing people were saying about the big Masonic conspiracy everyone was promoting in the 80s and 90s. Well, yeah, I mean, it's like it is actually literally exactly the same thing. But again, show me some fucking evidence. Like, I don't know what people want. I didn't see the stream, but yesterday your stream was peak awesomeness. You were teaching hardcore. We weren't being stupid. We were all. I appreciate that. I think I've gotten really good at teaching it. I'm really happy. Like, especially in like the last 3-4 months, I feel like I've gotten really effing good at teaching it. I feel like especially after I came back from my kind of quasi vacation, I feel like I've gotten really good. I feel like I've gotten it to be really succinct and really consistent. I worked out some things over vacation when I created like some more charts and things to put out. That's like I feel like I've gotten really goddamn good at it. The problem is I can't get people to sit their asses down long enough to listen. But I appreciate the compliment, Illustration Station. I heard from a friend of a friend that, yeah, this is what I'm getting. Like, I heard from a friend of a friend that was told by another person that read an article one time 40 years ago. I'm like, okay, that's nice. What article was it? Can I see? Can I read it for myself? Am I allowed to make up my own mind about anything, or am I just required to like take your word for it? Pinky swear, trust me, bro. Like, how did Adam present primary source evidence? Adam isn't taught. Adam presents stuff from the actual written texts to illustrate the development of a myth. What Adam is talking about is myth development that occurred thousands of years ago. Adam is using the primary source evidence to present an interpretation that describes the development of a myth. So what he's doing is correct. But I wouldn't say that's about proving, well, maybe he would frame it this way, but I don't interpret it as like proving it's an interpretation of the information based on the primary source texts that were available at the time. No, it was on his channel on Odyssey, and well, I think it was just on Rumble. There was the problem with the audio on Odyssey or something. When Adam was asking if you read what he sent you, did he? No, he didn't send me anything ahead of time. Like what he did, like you guys saw what I saw, which is he scrolled through a bunch of news articles on the stream, which is fine, But like, I need to actually sit down and look at that information. Like, I can't just because someone presents me a headline of something, I can't just say, "Okay, well, you got me." Like, I have to sit down, I have to read it, I have to think about what that means, I have to compare that to other information. It's like primary source information doesn't exist in a vacuum. You have to look at the body of the work, right? And you have to look at all the evidence, not just cherry pick the things that make you feel good about whatever is being said. You have to look at the whole body of things. And so it's like what I was talking about when he was like trying to push the anti-white stuff, and I was like, maybe a teeny tiny portion of it does, but we have a mountain of evidence that says other things. And so if you're comparing, you can cherry pick the teeny tiny little portion of it that says like the stuff about skin color, which is going to be a really small proportion compared to the overall set of evidence, but you're just cherry picking evidence to feed your own confirmation bias. So it's like evidence doesn't just exist. Like, well, I gave you this news article. Like, aren't you going to read it? Well, I mean, I'll read the news article, but don't think that just because one news article says something that's going to prove anything to me. Let me look at every other thing that person has written. Let me look at the people they reference in it. Like, there's a larger body of evidence, and I understand why he did it, and I do like feel his pain in terms of like I understand that what they're doing is hard to prove, but I'm not going to agree with something on a live stream based on a headline when I have his audience fucking raking me over the coals because I'm not saying the precious words they want me to say. It's like that's just unreasonable. It is a completely reasonable thing to come in and say, if you want me to look at stuff, I actually need to sit down and read it. I'm not just going to take anyone's word for anything, no matter how much I like you. You're a really nice guy. You look like a Viking. I appreciate that. But I'm not going to take your word for it based on a headline of an article. I need to actually read the goddamn article, And if people don't want to accept that, and I'm not saying Adam didn't, by the way. Again, I'm not shitting on him at all. I thought he did a great job. That my thing here isn't about him at all. But it's just like, if you can't be reasonable and say, yeah, maybe it's actually kind of pretty fair that you want to read the article before you agree with the article. It's like, what do you want? you know? Isn't there a conspiracy about Jewish bull? Yeah, there are. And listen, man, again, like, and I'm more than open to looking at stuff on that. I really am. Now, it's not what I'm doing because I'm focusing on what's going on right now, but I'll look at whatever anyone wants to send me. But when I have literally begged for this information from like multiple people and no one can provide me anything, and not even will they not provide me with anything, but like they refuse to even have a conversation with me about their perspective. Like I flat out said, like 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 when I was told, Carlin, we can't provide you evidence because that primary source evidence doesn't exist. They wipe it off the internet. They do this, they do that, they do the other thing. Okay, fine. Let's put that aside for a second. When I said, can you just explain your perspective to me? Like, just don't worry about the evidence right now. Just explain your perspective. Or give me a video I can watch or something. I got nothing. And listen, man, no one is obligated to explain anything to me. No one has any obligation. I never want to be in a position where I feel like I'm pressuring someone to do something they don't want to do. That's fine. Like, if you don't want to talk to me about this, you don't have to. But don't expect me to believe something just because you say pinky swear, trust me, bro, when you're giving me nothing to work with. Like, why can't someone just sit down and explain to me without insulting me, without calling me fat or ugly, without being a dick? Like, why can't any of these people who want me to believe these things just sit down and explain to me what they actually believe? Because if you can't do that, then why should I listen to you? I mean, I can explain what I believe. I can explain what the left believes. I can do it succinctly. I can do it clearly. I can do it at any time. But I just don't know what these people want from me. Thank you, Reagan. I appreciate that. Oh, you were in the Odyssey chat? Oh, great. Great. There is no evidence. People who complain about the Jews are controlled opposition, in my opinion, from the right wing perspective. The problem is racist, left wing. Yeah, it's like, yeah. I mean, I just don't know what people want from me. Now, what I will say is like, I think it was very revealing what happened after October 7th with the amount of conservative influencers who made money talking about how anti-cancel culture they are, calling around trying to get people fired if they weren't on Israel's side. I think it was very telling how you weren't allowed, like you were instantly called anti-Semitic if you questioned what Israel was doing at all. I think all that was very, very telling. It aligned with what happened to me after I was in a spiritual discussion on Twitter for like 2 hours, and they took one tweet out of context where I said basically something to the effect of like Hitler went to heaven and like there are spiritual reasons why people might want to experience oppression, which is all true. And it's also like I don't believe hell exists. I don't subscribe to an Abrahamic religion. So like you want me to say Hitler went to hell so badly? I don't believe hell exists. Where did you want him to go? And so like and I got canceled massively for that. And then PragerU fucked me over. And it's like, I feel like I'm more open to these ideas than most people are. But if you're coming to me with these ideas and you're not giving me anything to work with, no evidence, no, here is my perspective. I can't sit down and have a rational conversation about it. You're just a fat, ugly bitch on the internet. If that's all I'm getting, then what do people want from me? Because I am at a fucking loss. I am at a loss. I deal in primary source video evidence. All I look at, literally anyone who watches my YouTube channel for more than 2 minutes knows that I deal in primary source video evidence. That is all we do. I don't read newspaper articles. I don't parrot the talking points of influencers. We literally just sit here and we watch primary source video evidence. So what is so difficult to understand? And if you can't give me that, and you can't even just sit down and say, here is what I think, here is how I think this shows up in the world in a calm and rational manner where you're not fucking insulting me, then why should I listen? What makes you any better than the people you claim to hate? No, I want primary source evidence of how it showed up in the world, what they actually did. If there is a massive worldwide Jewish conspiracy theory, then show me evidence of how they did it. Not their we don't deal in scholarly research here. We don't look at it. Scholarly research doesn't necessarily translate to real world activity. It's just scholarly research. It's meant to be applied in the real world. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But just because something exists on the scholarly level or the religion or the theological level doesn't mean it's been applied in the real world. So show me evidence that it's been applied in the real world. Show me meetings, show me video, show me documentation. Show me newspaper articles about events. Show me a fucking program of a conference. Show me any sort of primary source, real world evidence. That is what I'm asking for. Watch my Socialism Saturday videos. You'll see what we look at. Watch my school investigation videos. You'll see what we look at. We look at documents. We look at meetings. We look at training exercises. We look at classes. We look at conferences. We look at coffee shop presentations. Everything is just like applied in the real world. If there is a goddamn conspiracy theory about a massive group of people controlling the world, then I would think that there would be some evidence of that exists somewhere. And if there is no evidence of that exists anywhere, then the bare minimum that I want is for someone to sit down with me and have a goddamn rational conversation about what they believe. And it doesn't have to be live on the internet, because you're going to say, Carlin, we're not allowed to have that conversation on the internet. Fucking fine. Then sit down with me in private or on a Zoom call or on a fucking Skype or over the goddamn phone and explain to me what you believe. Because if you guys can't do that, and you guys can't have a rational conversation about it without breaking down and throwing a goddamn fucking hissy fit and calling me fat and ugly 19 ways from Sunday, then why the fuck should I listen to you? I feel like I've been more than fair. I feel like I have been more than open. I feel like I have been more than goddamn conciliatory, and I feel like I've asked for very basic things, and I am so sick of this shit. There's a bunch of stuff from popes of the Catholic Church about Freemasonry that is super conspiracy level stuff. Well, show it to me. I'm way back in the chat, guys. Sorry, I'm just going through the chat as it came in. Jews do well for the same reason that American-born Chinese do well. It isn't learning two spoken languages from birth. The benefit is learning two written. I mean, that may be. I don't know. That might be. Tayton, thank you for the super chat. What is their entire thing against the Jews, that they hold all of the power? Yeah, it's basically like the whole like they control everything, worldwide conspiracy theory, yada yada yada. And again, like I think what happened after October 7th was very, very revealing on a number of levels. But that doesn't mean that I'm just going to turn over and be like, okay, you guys were right, when I haven't seen evidence of it. And especially not in relation to the stuff I do now. Like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I have been undercover at their events. I don't see a lot of Jewish names. I'm sorry. I know that's not what you want to hear, but that's reality. I'm not going to make something up just to make people feel good. I haven't seen it. I know they desperately want me to say that. What I have seen are group discussions about Marx's On the Jewish Question, where they make it very clear they don't like Jews. What I have seen is the radical revolutionary socialists leading the protests that are in favor of Hamas and against Israel. They fucking hate Israel. The radical revolutionary left hates Israel. Like, that is factual. I can look at any presentation on any of their channels and see that clearly. Even when they're doing a goddamn presentation about anti-Semitism, they're talking about how pro-Palestinian they are. They are quite literally trying to redefine the definition of anti-Semitism right now. We watched a presentation about that like a week and a half ago. They're trying to redefine anti-Semitism to make it only apply to people who are oppressed, which means like people like Bill Ackman wouldn't be considered, no one would be able to be anti-Semitic against someone like Bill Ackman. They're trying to do to anti-Semitism exactly how they redefined racism. So don't tell me that this is a fucking Jewish conspiracy theory when I am watching them do this in front of me in real time. I can look at primary source evidence saying, oh, they're trying to redefine anti-Semitism, just like they redefine racism. They're pro-Hamas, they're pro-Palestinian, they're talking shit about Israel all the goddamn time. We have Marx's On the Jewish Question, blatantly saying that Marx didn't like the Jews all that much. And then they go, but Marx was Jewish. And I'm like, I don't give a flying fuck if Marx was Jewish. He is literally written about the fact that he doesn't like the fucking Jews. So what do you want me to do with that? I don't know. How do they expect me to reconcile this? "Eh, you're fat, you're ugly, you're fat, you're ugly." Okay, well, like, whatever, bro. That just, like, means that you can't provide me with any goddamn evidence. They refuse to realize communism has evolved. They also do not study communists. Yeah. Well, I'm on Telegram, so the people that I've asked to provide me evidence know how to reach me on Telegram. Where the fuck is it? Maybe it's a demoralizing tactic, purposefully degrading those who actually know what they're doing. Yeah. That's kind of what it feels like. No, see, this is what they do. This is who is the most powerful lobbying group in America, Carlin. Like, provide me fucking evidence, asshole. Like, don't like, this is gaslighting bullshit. Unless you have receipts, I don't want to fucking hear from you. But haven't you noticed that their logos all look the same? Okay, provide me with more evidence than that, because if you're hinging your entire argument on the logos look the same, that's not really that strong of an argument, bro. But your last name sounds Jewish. I very literally married a Ukrainian. Like, I mean, come on. And I know why he asked me that. I know why. I totally get it. Because these people have been calling me a Jew for years. The no white guilt audience has been calling me a Jew for years, for literally fucking years. So I know why he did it. I know why that was showing up in his chat. And again, I really don't want to throw any shade his way, because I think that Adam did a really good job with what he was given. I'm just so frustrated by the goddamn audience. I'm so frustrated that I keep running into these people over and over and over and over and over again. It's like, thank you, Beth, for the super chat. Just got paid. Got to give my oh, Beth. You didn't have to do that, but I do appreciate you, Beth. Thank you. By the way, you and Mel killed it. That was a great show. Yeah, I had a great show with Mel K. I had a great show. But even Mel K's audience, if you go into the Rumble chat, even Mel K's audiences are like, they're telling her, they're like, Mel, don't trust this woman. She is a leftist conspiracy theorist. Like, someone actually told Mel that I'm on the payroll for the WEF. Like, how fun? Like, where's my WEF check? Must have gotten lost in the same place as my PragerU check. I'll take both. Can I have both my PragerU check that I was supposed to get and my WEF check that I was supposed to get at the same time? So it's not even just like, I'm not even saying that, like, this is not even just Adam's audience. I see this like every single fucking time. Every single time I go on one of these shows, it's like, oh, she is a leftist WEF spy, like all this fucking bullshit. It's like, my God, you guys are idiots. I find on social media people want to use opinion and heresy rather than backing up ideas with sources that have been vetted. Seems to them research is too much work to do. We can't even get to what, like, people say all the time, like, Carlin, why don't you just make video clips? Why don't you make video clips? Why don't you make well, first of all, I do, but like, secondly, even when I trim something down to like 1 or 2 minutes, I can't get people to watch it. They won't watch it. I put up a 3-minute clip of the revolutionary communists. It was that clip that we found where they literally said they wanted to overthrow the government and raise the red flag of communism above the White House. This is revolutionary communists in 2024 saying in public on video, we want to overthrow the United States government and raise the red flag of communism above the White House. I got well over 100,000 views on that tweet. Almost no one watched the video, and I know because I can see the evidence of it. So we've got all these people sharing this tweet, all these people seeing this tweet. No one is watching the video. It's 3 minutes long. Do you wanna know why we're losing? That's why we're losing. That's why. The Chinese suffer from similar conspiracy theories. In Indonesia and Malaysia and Southeast Asia, Jews have very little presence. So another 2 written language learning groups are in those. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I listened to Dr. Borisenko and bought the hard copy and e-copy. Thank you, eChuck. I appreciate that. Like, why anyone even cares about my weight is like beyond me. I literally watch socialism on the internet, people. I am not here to fuck you. Like, I am not here to get you off. There, if you want to get off, go over to OnlyFans, man. Go over to Pornhub. Go watch some fucking e-girl that has her tits out. I am not that. I know I'm wearing lipstick today because Adam asked me to wear lipstick, and so people might be confused about that because they see lipstick and they go, but like, I'm not here to get you off, bro. So why do you even care? Why does anyone care what my weight is at all? Like, it makes no difference. Like, the only people who should be concerned about my weight are me and my husband, because he is the one that has to sleep with me, and he doesn't really give a fuck. I'll tell you that. Like, this is not a problem. This is not a problem at all. Also, the guy who ran the whole Bolshoi gulag system that killed so many for being Jewish was himself Jewish. They're too lazy to read the facts. Laziness is the number one human terminator. They are too lazy. Yeah, they're too lazy. Too lazy to watch a 3-minute goddamn video. People can hate the people group they're from if they feel they've been oppressed by them. Well, that's, I mean, like, why anyone thinks that, like, just because you're part of a group, you don't hate that group. I just, like, that's ridiculous. They brought up random stuff that has nothing to do with your work. Yeah. But I mean, like, I can forgive people for bringing up random stuff that has nothing to do with my work because I know that not everyone has seen my work, right? So you don't know what you don't know. But it's also like, I feel like when someone says, I will read whatever you give me, I will watch whatever you give me, but you got to give me something to look at. Like, I feel like I'm coming to the table, and then the response I'm being given is, "You're fat and ugly." Eh. Well, then I'm not gonna waste my time on your shit. I'm sorry. Tayton says, "Okay, great. Let's say hypothetically they are proven correct in the future. What is their solution?" No, there is no solution to that. If they are proven right about every conspiracy theory they have about the Jews controlling everything, there is quite literally no solution for it. We are irrevocably effed. Like, so what do they want? There's no solution. They're not taking anything back. That's never happening. Ever. Because it's not even like with the radical revolutionary left. The radical revolutionary left has been spending the last century taking over the United States, right? That's 100 years. And we see how much damage they've done. We see how many institutions they control. We see how much power they have. That's 100 years. What these guys are literally talking about goes back thousands of years. And you're telling me that that's something that can be beaten back? Nah, bro, you lost. You lost, and you lost fucking bad. And now you're whining about on the internet about it and calling anyone who doesn't believe like what you're saying, like that come across as like the insane rantings of like an old man screaming at the sky. You're just calling them names and insulting them. I'm sorry you lost. But you can't even explain to someone what you believe. If you cannot explain to someone what you believe, then why are you surprised that you lost in the first place? It is a religious belief with them and one team against the other. Yeah, it is. It's just all tribalism. That's all it is. I put the Mel K interview on my Substack. You can also find it on Mel's YouTube channel. I definitely recommend everyone subscribe to Mel K. I recommend people subscribe to Adam too. I really don't want like what I'm so pissed off about right now is like Adam's own audience worked against him. They did. Like this is how fucking retarded this side of the internet is. Because if it had literally just been like Adam and Carlin are having a chat and Adam is asking Carlin questions and Carlin is answering the questions and Adam is pushing back where he sees fit, and that's fine. Some things maybe I'm going to agree with him on, some things maybe we can agree to disagree on. If it was just the chat in isolation and all that my audience saw of Adam was the chat, like I'm sorry, when Adam was on my channel a couple weeks ago, people treated him really well, people were open to his ideas, people like there was no fucking problem. And then Adam brings me on his channel and I get shit on for an hour and a half, not by Adam, who did a wonderful job, but by his audience. And P.S., by the way, my audience is watching all this happen. My audience was in the chat. You guys are telling me more of what was going on in the chat than I even knew, and I had it up on my screen, but I wasn't really paying attention to it really actively. And so it's not Adam's fault because he can't control his chat. Like, he's not a fucking superhero. He can't control what people say or do. But it's his own audience's fault that turned my audience against him, and that pisses me off because I like his content and I think he's worth listening to. But like what like I don't and the Groypers did the same fucking thing. This is exactly the same thing as like what the Groypers did. When Nick and I were being friendly, the Groypers were coming into my chat, the Groypers were actually getting along with my audience, and then fucking Beardson and Wurzelroot fucked the entire thing up. I don't know what these idiots expect to happen. It was definitely the land of Retardia. It was definitely that. Rottweiler, thank you for the super chat. All they want to hear is we're winning. All trans are groomers. WEF bad. Straight, Western straight Christian white cult. Yeah, this is all they want to hear. And it's just like, no, I'm sorry. I'm not going to give you the talking points that you're desperate for. I'm sorry. That's not my jam, man. I know that you'll all stop calling me fat and ugly if I just say the things you want me to say. Believe me, I'm well aware of it, but that's not going to happen. So just go somewhere else, I guess. Like we always say, we will go to the gulag with our eyes open, and conservatives will still be trying to own the libs on the train ride. Yeah. Yup. Ain't that the truth? Ain't it the truth? Yeah. P.S. guys, socialists don't give a flying fuck what anyone looks like. They don't. You can look goddamn crazy and they'll treat you the same and they will never comment on your looks. You can be way, way heavier than I am and they will never comment on it. They're just going to treat you like they're your friend. Socialists don't give a flying F what people look like. This is like my third or fourth interview with Mel K. And Mel K wants to bring me back to do the How to Speak Socialist class to her audience, like a live class, which I think is actually really cool. Yeah. Like this shit doesn't happen on my channel. You want to know why? Because I curate my audience. I don't allow this shit to happen. If anyone even has like, I ban people for significantly less than, but I understand why people don't do that too. I understand why people don't want to curate things. I understand why people don't moderate things, but like, if you're not going to moderate your audience, if you're not going to moderate your chat, don't be surprised when they drive people away for no good reason. Like, this has not only pissed me off, this pissed off my fucking audience. This is an audience that I serve this fucking audience up. Here is this guy. He's doing cool things. Let's talk to him. Let's welcome him on the channel to explain his ideas. And then he's just like returning the favor, and I didn't ask him to do it or anything, and it's just like, and he was so nice about it. And this is like why I'm like upset about this. It's like the audience, like my audience was served up to him on a silver platter, and he's not the one that fucked it up. His own audience fucked it up. And like, I gotta tell you guys, one of the reasons I went live to do this is because I was getting all sorts of messages from people saying, Carlin, did you see the chat? Did you see the chat? The chat fucking sucked. Chat, like, I came off of that stream to like an inbox full of goddamn messages from people. And it wasn't his fault. It was his audience's fault. But I mean, my audience knows that shit's not allowed. Even if I brought a socialist on this channel, like, the audience is not going to insult them. Like, I know that. I have cultivated an audience where even if I brought someone on the channel to talk to me that was diametrically opposed to everything they believe in, even if I found the fattest, ugliest socialist that I've ever found, and believe me, that wouldn't actually be that hard to find, and I brought them on for a chat and they had the crazy queer makeup and I just let them say whatever they want to because we're interested in their perspective, like, even if I did that, my audience would still not treat them like dirt. I just think it's sad. And it's unnecessary. It's just unnecessary. And it's like, oh no, are you a flat earther? Oh no, I appreciate you though. You are brilliant, you are beautiful and attractive. Find your peace. Yelling at retards is bad for you. Well, sometimes I need to work out my feelings on the internet, okay? I'm working out my goddamn feelings about having shit slung at me for 90 goddamn minutes when I feel like I was being a really reasonable person. I am working out my feelings about being actually, I was excited for that conversation. I was like excited about it. He didn't have to ask me to come on his show. He did. I was excited to talk to him. I was excited to have the dialogue. And it's just like, I get off the stream and I've got a fucking inbox full of DMs from people saying, what the fuck was that? And so I'm working out some feelings, but I appreciate the super chat. Well, this is kind of how I feel about it. I'm like, this is why they're winning. This is why they're winning. Go fuck yourself. That's how I feel about that. Go fuck. See, my chat isn't allowed to insult people, but I sure as shit am. Go fuck yourself. God damn. No, I'm not gonna do old school lick liner. The fucking lipstick is just a joke anyway. I don't even fucking own lip liner. Jesus. I would look like 10 years older than I am if I did fucking lip liner. Oh. 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 Cry harder, bitch. Cry harder. Oh. Do we think that this is an incel pretending to be a woman? Do we think that this is a young little teenage boy? But would a teenage boy know what lip liner is? No. The only person who's going to know what lip liner is like a 60-year-old bitch that's running around the internet giving makeup tips that no one asked for. Goodbye. See? And then you ban them. And then you ban them. And they can't talk anymore. That's how we work things out. I ended up disagreeing with Adam. But I think we all treated him with respect and courtesy. I just wish his audience showed the respect to you. I mean, like, I'll pull this fucking card. If I was a man, that wouldn't have happened. If I was a man, that wouldn't have happened. If I was a man, that wouldn't have happened. I'm sorry. I so rarely pull the gender card. Maybe what I should do, maybe I just need to find like some guy that has like I just need to like find some guy, and he has to have a very specific look, to just train him to say absolutely everything I would say, and then send him out to go on these shows. And he's like, talk the way I would talk, say what I would say, know all the talking points by heart. Maybe I should just do that. Do any sort of like rugged Chad looking guys want to volunteer for that position? Because maybe that's the answer to this entire thing. Can I just generate some sort of like fucking AI thing that looks like a man that can go on all these shows and just speak my talking points so I don't have to do it? And by the way, the talking points will be completely received differently because I would be presenting differently. Maybe I just need to become trans. Maybe I just need to like cut all my fucking hair off. I need to start taking testosterone. I need to grow a beard. Would that help? My husband wouldn't be happy about it, but, you know. Thank you, Kazmar, because we are here to learn from all sides with respect, even if we disagree. I mean, I never thought that this would be so goddamn difficult to find on the internet. Like, truly and sincerely, I never thought this would be so goddamn difficult. Like, can we just not be assholes? If you want to be an asshole, go somewhere else, bro. Like, we are here to learn, whether it's from Carlin or a guest. We can learn how to understand them and let them say the quiet part out loud. You catch more. I mean, I don't, well, you guys know I don't subscribe to like catching more flies with honey, but like, yeah, I only wear this as a joke. Adam really did specifically ask me to wear this lipstick though. And he was joking too, but like, whatever. Whatever. Oh, that probably was Deb or the poetry painter bitch. Oh my god, it probably was. You're probably right. You're probably right. You want to be John, you want to be the representative that goes on all the shows in my stead? I mean, you're a good John you might even fit in well with the incels. And I'm not saying you are an incel because you're a very good-looking young man but like I think like you could actually like fit in with the incels. Maybe like we're going to train John up. John has volunteered. John is going to be the representative from now on. I'm never going on another one of these shows again. John is going into socialism boot camp and he's going to learn to say everything I say. And we're just going to send him out. And anytime someone wants to talk to me, I'm going to be like, here's John. Talk to him. I'm retired. I'm not doing this shit anymore. I'm staying on my channel. If you want to talk to me, you come to my channel with my chat where I control who is blocked and who is not blocked. Yeah, I mean, I was actually really happy with the conversation. I was happy with the points I got to make. Like I was happy with there was not anything I would really change about the conversation between him and I. It was just it was everything else. I can borrow your beard. Excellent. You do have a wonderful beard, Dragon Tail. No, I'm going to change my name to Carlin Marks is what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. I've always known you to treat everyone with respect until they get... I mean, this is basically it. I will never attack a person. You will never see me starting the fight. But if you start a fight with me, I will fucking end it. But I will never start the fight. I don't care enough to start the fight. I'm too busy to start the fight. I'm probably not even really that focused on you anyway. But if you start a fight with me, you better watch the fuck out. I doubt this very strongly. I've been on the receiving end of this bullshit enough now where I doubt this very, very strongly. When you get to the far right, you will get a lot of edgelords, dupes, and agents trying to push extreme points of view to discredit information. I understand that. I do. I understand that. I wasn't surprised about what happened, to be really clear. I was hoping it wouldn't, but I wasn't surprised about what happened. What I was surprised about was the strong reaction that I got from my audience. Basically being like, what the fuck just happened? And it's just it's unnecessary. It's so stupid and unnecessary. And I'll tell you what too, if that bullshit had happened in my chat, I wouldn't have even had to step in because my chat would have policed itself. I would have had people in my chat telling them to shut the fuck up. You can cultivate communities like this. It's not that hard. You just have to be willing to moderate out the assholes. Silence them. Don't give them the ability to fuck everything up. I'm going to paint the wall red at some point. I want to paint the wall basically the color of this shirt, and I want to hang up all my socialist propaganda. But I have other stuff I need to do. Yeah, it was like, Carlin blocked me, Carlin blocked me, Carlin blocked me. Well, yeah, probably because you were a racist fucking asshole in my chat and you provided no redeeming value at all. And if you come into my chat and are a racist fucking asshole that provides no redeeming value at all, and you just call me a Jew over and 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 over again because you have no coherent argument, because you're an incel racist asshole, I'm just gonna block you and be done with it. It's not worth it, bro. It is mind-boggling to me, truly mind-boggling, how people will hold on to being blocked by someone for fucking years. Carly blocked me, and I'm gonna complain about it every fucking day for years on end because she blocked me. Do you want to know why incels can't get laid? Let me tell you why. Because they will go on for years and years and years. I was blocked. 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 It's like it is the most unattractive thing in the world. Real men don't complain about being blocked on the internet. I'm sorry. Then you weren't looking, bro. 2 to 3, really? Really? You saw 2 to 3 idiots. Really? See, this is where you lose all your credibility because I was not even really watching the chat and I saw more than 2 to 3 idiots in literal real time. And I'll tell you what, too, my audience doesn't bomb my DMs with something over 2 to 3 idiots. So that's just bullshit, bro. Come on. Yeah, not true. You have no credibility. I'm sorry. I was watching the Rumble chat, bro. It's just disappointing. It really is. It's like you think you're going to talk about something that actually matters for once. I don't know, man. This is why I'm by myself on the internet. This is why I don't play with other groups on the internet. This is why I don't collab with other content creators on the internet because it just never fucking works out. It's like, even if the content creator is perfectly nice, it just leads to round and round of bullshit in one way or the other. It's just always the same fucking thing. Whatever. Whatever. We're all going to be fucked in about 15 years anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Like, really? You did good. I came here through the first Adam Green interview. It's working. I hope more people come. That's good to hear though. I'm glad you found it through him. Like, the internet's a big place. I don't understand why, if you don't like someone, you don't have to watch them. If someone's blocked you, you don't have to watch them. If you don't agree with someone, you don't have to watch them. There are a million other things you can go and watch. There are a million other communities you can be involved with. There's enough for everyone. I'm just so fucking sick of this. God, can I please just get my old life back where I didn't have to deal with any of this? Literally every single video on my channel, I don't need you guys to give me primary source evidence about communism. It is literally every video on my fucking channel, bro. Well, on the bright side, Liz Wheeler shared my stuff today, and so that's good. Liz Wheeler becomes the first influencer, the first conservative influencer to share that clip that we found of the socialists saying that the riots in 2024 are going to be worse than 2020. First one, the only one that I know of. Maybe other people have shared it and I didn't see it, but she shared it and she tagged me and she credited me and she's like, class act. So that's good. And I have one more day in New Hampshire before I get on a plane and go somewhere to do undercover work. And I'm not remotely ready to leave. And I would like to spend some time with my husband tonight. That'd be nice. So maybe I'm going to go do that. Maybe I'm going to exit the internet and maybe I'm going to get fucking laid, all right? Maybe that's what I'm going to do. All of the incels can read all they want. They can complain all they want. They can call me fat and ugly all they want. But guess what? I'm getting laid tonight, motherfuckers, and you're not. So suck on that. Anyway. All right, that's all I have. That's all the complaining I'm going to do. I've been complaining for an hour and 17 minutes. Thank you for allowing me to work out my feelings on the internet. I appreciate it. I will be. Oh no 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 no. Let's not. No 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 no. There will be no impregnation of any sort. I like my money and I like my freedom. And I deal with enough whining on the internet. I am not dealing with additional whining in my house that I have to pay for and rear. That's not going to happen. But I will be back at 5 p.m. tomorrow and we will continue to do what we do, which is to watch primary goddamn source evidence and to see what's going on for ourselves. Take care, everyone. Have a good night. We'll see you soon. Bye.